Hi guys, this is Karla Espinosa. I am the pastry chef of Mad Houston, and I feel super honored to be here creating this video for this contest and being part of the challenge, being invited by DR Delicacy. And today we want to showcase our superstar, which is the Boiron purees. I decided that I wanted to use passion fruit. It's one of my favorite flavors, so I decided to pick that one. I also picked the honey truffle. It's a white truffle from Texas Wildflower Honey, and the taste is just amazing. And of course, vanilla beans. Vanilla beans, I think that in pastry are essential, and not just just in pastry, but and I just wanted to include it in my recipe. So what we're gonna be doing today is going to be a 20-layer milk crepe cake, which means 20 layers of crepes, nah, French versus the Spanish, anyway. So yeah, we'll be doing that. We're going to fill it with between each layer we're going to make mascarpone, vanilla, and passion fruit filling. And I also want to add some mango just to make it a little more interesting and a little more flavorful. I think it's gonna go very well. And well, I hope you guys enjoy it, and I hope you can make it at home. It's actually pretty simple. I decided not to use any equipment that you guys don't have at home. So in this case, the equipment that we're gonna need is just the blender. And if you don't have a blender, that's fine. You can still use just like a whisk and do it by hand. But if you have a blender, it's gonna work way better. And then we're just gonna use your stove, a pan, preferably like a non-stick pan, like Teflon, or yeah, that would be ideal. And then if you have a hand blender, if you have a KitchenAid, it will work great to make our filling. But if you don't have one, and if you have just a hand blender, will work. Or if you have just a whisk, it will also work. So let's get this done. Okay, now that we know all the ingredients, we're gonna make the crepe batter. The crepe batter is pretty simple. Pretty much we're going to put all the ingredients in the blender, starting by the liquid ingredients. The reason is because if you put the dry ingredients first, then it's going to get stuck in the blender, and you don't want that. So it will go smoother if you put all the liquid ingredients first. So we're going to start. I have here the milk and the passion fruit puree. And then I forgot to mention that I also put a 1/4 cup of heavy cream. Okay, and then we're going to put the eggs. I'm sorry. The eggs and the egg yolks. Then we can add the sugar. I can add right there the truffle. This is a truffle, look, very cute little packaging. And in the inside, it has some pieces of white truffle. I don't want to dump it. Okay. Alright guys, so we're going to continue with the second part of our recipe for the filling, and it's also very simple. The only thing we're gonna do is mix all the ingredients. We have here the mascarpone cheese, the heavy cream, the passion fruit Boiron puree, the powdered sugar, and the two vanilla beans. So here, what we're gonna do, for those who doesn't know how to do it, we want to take out the paste that it's inside the vanilla, right? So when they're a little dry, I like to kind of like with my hands warm it up a little bit, you know, and then we're gonna split it in half, and then we're gonna scrape it. So this is what we're going to do. Be careful, don't cut your fingers. There you go. So I did that, and so we can see that. You see? Now with the help of our knife, we're going to scrape it, and then we got the vanilla in. Okay, and then we're just gonna put it on the cheese. Okay, make sure you take it all out. The vanilla bean that I'm using, it's Madagascar from Madagascar. It's super flavorful. I can smell the vanilla bean just by at the time that I start scraping it. It's super delicious. You can put more if you want, but I think that with 2, it should be plenty, and it should be more than enough. So this is the second one, and I'm almost done. So there you go. And then make sure you use all of it. Okay. What I do with the pots, the vanilla pots, after I scrape them, I put them in a jar, sometimes with a sugar, and it helps to flavor it a little bit, you know. So here's the cheese, the vanilla. We're going to add the sugar, the powdered sugar. Also, if you can sift it previously, it will be best. And then we're going to add the heavy cream. Okay, I'm going to be adding the passion fruit puree slowly, little by little, but in the meantime I'm going to start mixing. This is what we want. We want it to stiff enough, and this is where we need to start being careful. We don't want to over mix it. So I'm going to stop. We just finished mixing, and this is perfect. I'm going to show you the consistency now. I just wanted to mix it because on the sides there's softer spots of cream, but now this is the consistency that we want. You see, it's like a soft whipped cream. Okay, so I'll show you. So now we're gonna start making our crepes. We want the stove to be at the medium-low temperature. We don't want it to be very high. We're gonna need some melted butter right here, and then this is our butter. Our batter, like I was telling you, it needs to have like a heavy cream consistency. So it already rested for an hour. Now we start making the crepes. Okay, so first I'm gonna use this, but you don't need to. So you can use this. There you go. I'll put it aside. Then we're gonna grab a ladle, and then when you pour the dough, you want to make like a circular move to make sure that the crepe keeps a round shape. Okay, just like that. In there, we're gonna let it sit just for a few seconds. I'll say maybe 30 seconds. I have my stove at the medium-low temperature. And now when we see that it starts, you know, we can flip it. This was the first one. So I lower it now just a little bit so it doesn't get this color. We want it to be lighter, but since it's the first one, this one can go at the bottom of the cake, so that should be fine. So now we're gonna do the fun part of the recipe, which is assembling the cake. It's super simple. The only thing you need is an offset spatula, either one will work, a very flat plate or surface. It can be just a cake board, it can be a plate just like this, preferably that it's flat, otherwise your cake might sink. And if you have a turntable, will work. If not, don't worry, you can just do it like that. So I'm gonna show you the first layers here, just like that, and then I can finish on the turntable. And then once your crepes have cooled down, have them right here, we're just going to start assembling. And then we have our filling right here, and also the mango. Okay, so let's get this started. First, we're gonna place one crepe. Make sure it's like right in the center of your plate. Then we're gonna put a little bit of the filling, and then we're gonna spread it evenly. Remember the amount that you put on your first layer, because it's the same amount that you want to put in the rest of the layers. Also, make sure it's not very thick layers, otherwise when you cut it, it can be a little rough. And just make sure you go, all around the crepe. Don't let the edges without the filling, but just there. Okay, and then that should do the work. So now that we have the cake ready, you see how pretty it looks, and it's already, the filling is actually pretty good. So now that we have it ready, we're gonna let it rest in the fridge for a few hours, at least until the filling and the crepes get a little more firm, so we can be ready to cut it. But after this, I'm just gonna let it cool right now, and then we can decorate it. I have some extra filling like this, so you should have about the same amount. And you can use it to cover the cake. You can either go all over, or you can do a design with a piping bag. Alright, so I warm up my knife already with some water, and then we're just gonna do a straight cut. Okay, and now we'll see. And this is how it looks. Good. I hope you guys enjoy it.